Alright, so a couple is planning their wedding. The wedding planner has two packages. Package 1 is $1,500 with $10 per guest. And then package 2 is $2,200 with $8 per guest. So you just need those two columns, package 1, package 2. The total cost is going to be just that. The total cost, we don't care about how many people are coming. So total cost is $1,500 plus the $10, and then there's that word again, per, P-E-R. Per guest means put the variable there. There's package 1. Package 2 is going to be $2,200 plus the $8 per guest. They need both of these equations for your plus 2 here. Plus 1 on this equation, plus 1 on this equation. There's 2 more points available. They needed to have actually substituted in for the 200 guests. So total cost for the first one on the package, make sure they have the dollar sign, was $3,800. $3,500 for the other one. What? Yeah. So they need to have package 2 should have $3,800. Package 1 should have $3,500. Make sure you can find those two, and then plus 1 on that. Alright, so a total of 3 points on this question. You get a plus 1 for the first equation, plus 1 for the second equation, plus 1 for the correct substitution here. Number 3.
What if they only got one right on the
these are how the points go. So either they get the point or they don't. So what are they missing?
They just missed one package.
Yeah. So they get plus 2 if they got the equation. Alright, number 13, part B, average cost per guest. This means that you take your original equation and you're going to put 1,500 plus 10x, and then we need to divide by the number of people actually attending. Same thing over here, 2,200 plus 8x, divide by the number of people who are attending. If you can find both of these equations, plus 1 for this. Alright, now they're going to ask you to sub in, and we did this over off to the side so you can make a little variable box if they forgot. Your x variable is the number of guests, and your y variable is the cost. Many of you got tripped up on this. You did not know where to substitute in. That is a very scary position to be in when it comes to the STAR test final. So, make sure that you're drawing your variable boxes so you know without fail where you're going to substitute in for. You know that it's either going to be x and y, so try both of them if all else fails. Just try both x and y, and one of them will come out to be your answer. So if y is cost, that means that in your package you're going to substitute in 30 for the cost. 1,500 plus 10x over x, and then 30 equals 2,200 plus 8x over x. Okay, the substitution part is important, but where we want to get with this is the cross multiplying. They wanted to see 30x equals 1,500 plus 10x, and 30x equals 2,200 plus 8x. Cross multiplying. Alright, so package 1 supports 75 people. That's plus 1. Package 2 supports 100 people. That's another plus 1 there. So you can get a maximum of 2 points for part C. Alright guys, last one here, and then we'll move on to the free response. It says that after discussing the first 2 packages, the wedding planner offers a third package. Happens all the time. You as a customer, you like a lot in column A, you like a lot in column B, but you're not in love with either of them, so they got to come up with a new package. The problem with that, and this is what happened with my wedding planner, the problem with that is when she offered me the new package, because she was a friend, she actually didn't know how much to charge. So, like, she had, like, the set packages, but she was kind of doing this for us as a friend. So, we needed to back out, like, what her cost was going to be from the actual, like, our numbers. Our budget came out to be about $30 a person. So, that's where we set it in the problem. $30 a person. You also see that there's going to be 230 guests. And we're going to say that basically it costs about $6 in terms of like getting the invitations out to people and all that stuff. All right. So make your equation. Your relationship is y equals a over x. We know that it's an inverse relationship. Our cost equation is going to be y equals a plus, and then remember that it's $6 a person to get in. They tell you again that the cost is 30, so that's the y side. So 30 equals a plus 6x over x. They also tell you, that takes care of your 30. They also tell you that 230 guests are coming. So that's your x variable. So 30 equals a plus 6. And instead of x, write 230. And on the bottom, instead of x, write 230. All right. So all together, we're looking for this a value. That represents like how much commission that person's going to make off of the sale. How much I'm writing a check to that person for. All right, so when you multiply, you get 230 times 30. This is just over 5,000, I think, or just at 6,000. So cross multiply, right? So you get 230 times 30 equals a plus 6 times 230. Did y'all finish that? What was the answer? It's 5,000. That's right. And 19 cents or something like that? You got it right on? Okay, make sure you carry it to 3 decimal places next time. 5,020? Okay, that's right. Equals 5,520. So when you put this in the calculator, it's just a straight up substitution. You don't need to do anything. It's going to tell you, it's going to just spit out your final answer. So this is how much you cut a check. This is how much she got paid for her part of the work. All right. So like on the other one, the short answer went a lot faster. So flip over the page. 1 point over here for asymptote. 1 point for the other asymptote. Make sure they've labeled, because it asks you in part A to label the asymptote. So they need to say x equals 1 over here and y equals 4. They have to label the asymptote.
So if they're not labeled,
they get a plus 0. That's part A. It says label the asymptote on the graph. So if you did not label the asymptote on the graph, then they won't give you the point. Go to the next one. Describe the transformation. That's what this does for you. Knowing that your new vertex is at 1, 4, lets you say it's up 4 units, it's right 1 unit. If they wrote in that there's been a reflection, you may also count that for credit.
So how many total points is that right there?
If they label the asymptote, they get the point there. If they describe the transformation, they get the extra point there. We're at 3 points so far. All right. Next up, write an equation for the function. What? Oh, everything was in. It's not fun. All right. So label the asymptote on the graph. Write the function. They give you the function right here. They actually tell you the answer. It's right here. And all you need to do is take h and k and substitute in. Right? So you know h and k are your asymptotes. So y equals 1 over x minus 1 plus 4. It needs to be written just like this. If they wrote it just like this, give them another plus 1. Domain and range are just your asymptotes. So domain is from negative infinity to 1. From 1 to positive infinity. Range is from negative infinity to 4. Yeah. From 4 to infinity. Right, Free?
For part C, because I graphed the...
And that's fine. Like I said, like if you put the reflection in, you put a negative here, that's totally fine.
Oh, right.
Yeah, no worries. Simplify the equation. Guys, this is what we have been practicing the whole year. So if this did not work out for you, make sure that you key into this. This is the overarching key point for the unit. This is the big one. Simplify the equation f of x. So start with that. If they don't have it, write this out for them. They're going to need each of these steps. And then I'm going to put g of x over here off to the side. So g of x is x plus 2, or x plus 8. Alright. The whole point behind this, guys, is to be able to simplify quickly with these factors. So remember, what you could have done here is you could have multiplied these two factors together using the box method, because this is just a quadratic. What you can do, though, what is 3 divided by 3, Carol? What's 3 divided by 3? 1. What's 2 divided by 2? 1. What's x divided by x? 1. So what's x plus 2 divided by x plus 2? 1. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to cancel. And now your equation, f of x, is equal to x minus 8. Does that match your g of x equation? It sure does. So that answers this part of the question. It says simplify the equation, and you simplified them down to where they equal each other. That's fine. But they go on to say, does the graph look the same? If you have a variable in the denominator, does it look the same as a straight line? What do you think, Christian? No, it doesn't. Your inverse function, right? Remember, it looks like this. And your straight line function, y equals x minus 8, looks something like that. So you've got two totally different pictures. What's the difference between the two? You're exactly right. The asymptote. That's what separates these two functions. And the what's creating those breaks or those discontinuities in the function is right here. Whenever you have those extra variables in there, that's what's creating these discontinuities. It's not continuous like this straight line is. Alright, so grading on that, there's 1, 2, 3 points so far. This is +1 for domain and range, and +2 for number 15.
What if they explained it in a sentence?
So they gave you a full sentence of like, this is the difference between the graphs, like this. They say one of them is broken and one of them is a straight line. What are they saying?
Because I did it on the calculator.
Okay. So we just need to look at your calculator work. What's up? Alright. Do what? Did he explain it correctly?
I mean, it's just a overlap because he didn't explain it.
Okay.
I mean,
Do I put it right?
What's up? Okay. Last 3 questions. These go really fast, so make sure you've got good notes for these, because I know a lot of people didn't make it to the back page, and help them out, because they're going to have to do their corrections for homework. Alright. Part A. Here's what you want to do. Step 1. Move the coefficients. Move all of your coefficients. If they don't have your steps here, go ahead and write them on. Move the coefficients. Step 2. They don't want us to use the word, but we are going to have to use it. We're going to say we're going to cancel factors. It's not actually what we're doing, but it makes it a lot simpler to say this way. And then this is all just so we can simplify. You're not going to solve for x and y here. You're just trying to reduce the amount of stuff that's in the problem. You're going to simplify. So a quick 3-step process here. Move all of your coefficients to the front. So you're going to have 3 and 4 on the top. And you'll have 6 and 7 on the bottom. Those are all of your coefficients. Now you're gonna work with your factors. You have an x cubed on the top and a y to the 5th on the top. You've got an x to the 4th on the denominator and a y squared on the denominator. So now you're going to cancel your terms. On the top, you see where you have 3 times 4? 3 times 4 equals 12. Cross out everything, the 3 times 4, and just write a 12. Now look at the denominator. We have 12 divided